The Arrogant Dawn, November 24th, 1944, 0730 hours. Musashino Aircraft Factory, outskirts of Tokyo. The air hums with the whine of Mitsubishi A6M Zeros taxiing across the tarmac, their propellers slicing through the crisp morning fog. You can almost feel the dew clinging to your flight suit as Lieutenant Hiroshi Tanaka adjusts his goggles, smirking at his wingman under the shadow of the hangar. "Look at this American behemoth," he scoffs, pointing to a grainy reconnaissance photo pinned to the briefing board. The B-29 Superfortress stares back, massive wings, for right are 3350 engines, a pressurized cabin that lets it soar where no fighter dares follow. The pilots laugh, slapping backs in the dim light of the rising sun. It's a flying coffin, one jeers. Slow as a freighter, bloated with bombs. Our Zeros will tear it apart like paper lanterns. Tanaka nods, his eyes gleaming with imperial confidence. They've ruled the Pacific skies since Pearl Harbor, outmaneuvering P-40s and Spitfires with ease. This new bomber? Just another Yankee folly, vulnerable at low altitudes, easy prey for their 20mm cannons and Type 99 machine guns. As alerts blare, they scramble to their cockpits, leather helmets strapped tight. Engines roar to life, vibrating through the fuselage. Tanaka throttles up, the Zero leaping forward, wheels lifting from the scarred runway. Climbing fast, he scans the horizon. Clear blue, dotted with contrails far above. "There they are," crackles the radio. A formation of silver giants. The 21st Bomber Command's beasts from Saipan, droning at 30,000 feet. You hold your breath as Tanaka banks hard, pushing his fighter to its limits. The altimeter spins, but the B-29s remain distant specks, untouchable gods in the stratosphere. His Zero shudders, engine straining against thin air. "Climb, damn you," he growls. But then, the first bombs whistle down, precision from impossible heights. Explosions rock the factory below, flames licking the assembly lines where Nakajimaki 84s once rolled out. The mockery fades. Disbelief creeps in. The untouchable altitude. December 1944. High above the Kanto Plain, 32,000 feet. The air is razor thin, so cold it burns the lungs even inside the pressurized fuselage of the B-29 named Jolton Josie. You feel the steady thrum of the four massive right duplex cyclones as Captain Robert Morgan grips the yoke, eyes fixed on the Norden bomb site. Below, Tokyo sprawls like a gray quilt under scattered clouds, factories glinting in winter sunlight. Back in the cockpits of the intercepting Zeros, Lieutenant Tanaka's gloved hands tighten on the stick. His oxygen mask fogs with every ragged breath. The altimeter reads 9,000 meters. His fighter's practical ceiling, and still the silver bombers loom higher, serene and unreachable. His key, 43 Hayabusa escort lags even farther behind. "Impossible," he mutters into the radio. They fly where no engine should breathe. The B-29 gunners track the climbing specs through their General Electric Central Fire Control System. Computers whirring, turrets swiveling with mechanical precision. Twin .50 caliber barrels gleam in the upper turret as Staff Sergeant Alvarez squeezes a trigger. Tracers arc downward in glowing streams. Tanaka rolls hard, the Zero twisting like a dragonfly. Shells stitch the sky around him. One wingman erupts in flame, spiraling earthward in black smoke. The laughter from the briefing room feels like another lifetime. On the ground, air raid sirens howl across Tokyo. Civilians rush into flimsy shelters, mothers clutching children. But the bombs falling today are aimed at precision. Nakajima's Musashino plan again. Then Mitsubishi's engine works. Explosions bloom in perfect patterns, assembly lines crumpling under 500-pounders. Morgan's voice crackles calm over intercom. Bombs away. The Superfortress lurches upward, suddenly lighter. Bay doors yawn shut. The formation banks west, engines roaring toward home, Saipan, 1,500 miles away. Tanaka watches them go, helpless. His fuel gauge needles toward empty. Rage replaces mockery. For the first time, the hunters feel hunted. The Firebringer descends. March 9th, 1945, 0015 hours. Over the inland sea, en route to Tokyo. The night sky is black velvet, pierced only by the faint glow of instrument panels inside Dynamite, AB-29 of the 73rd Bomb Wing. Major Curtis LeMay's new orders echo in every crewman's mind. Drop altitude, strip defensive guns, load incendiaries. You feel the bomber descend 25,000 feet, 20,000, down to 7,000, where the air thickens and the flak can reach. Pathfinders flare first, magnesium blossoms lighting the sleeping city below. Tokyo's wooden wards, Asakusa, Hanjo, Fukagawa, spread out like kindling. Captain Raymond Bendiner peers through the bomb sight, heart steady. Steady, steady. In a dimly lit command post near Ichigaya, Lieutenant Tanaka, now promoted, now weary, stares at radar scopes. Hundreds of blips converge. No high-altitude specks tonight. These Americans are flying low, deliberate, almost arrogant. Sirens wail too late. The first wave, 334 Superfortresses, unleashes M69 napalm bomblets. Tiny canisters rain down, splitting open midair, scattering gel that sticks and burns. Winds whip across the city at 30 knots. Flames leap from roof to roof. Paper houses igniting like matches. You can almost taste the smoke. Families flee along narrow alleys, futons on their backs, children screaming. Rivers boil as people leap in for relief, only to suffocate in steam. Tanaka scrambles with a 244 Sentai, Zeros and Ki, 84 francs clawing into the night. Searchlights pin the low-flying giants. Tracers stitch red lines upward. 1B, 29 erupts, cartwheeling into the Sumida River. But there are too many. Hundreds. A gunner in Dyna might spot a Frank closing fast. The tail turret barks, .50 calibers hammering. The Japanese fighter shears apart, flaming into a residential block. Tanaka rolls through the inferno, heat buffeting his canopy. Below, Tokyo becomes a furnace. By dawn, the mockery is ash, the empire in flames. March 10th, 1945. Dawn over the ruins of Tokyo. The sun rises red through a haze of smoke that stretches to the horizon. You stand amid the devastation. Where once dense neighborhoods thrived, now only blackened skeletons of buildings remain. Charred roof tiles crunch underfoot. The air reeks of scorched wood, melted metal, and something far worse. Over 100,000 dead in a single night. Entire families erased. The firestorm sucked oxygen from shelters, boiling rivers, fusing glass. Survivors wander like ghosts, skin blistered, hair singed, eyes hollow with shock. Lieutenant Tanaka touches down at a forward airstrip, his Zero scarred by shrapnel. He climbs from the cockpit on trembling legs. A ground crewman approaches, face streaked with soot. "Tokyo, it's gone, sir." Half the city. Tanaka says nothing. The arrogance of November is a bitter memory. He remembers laughing at reconnaissance photos, calling the B-29 a lumbering target. Now those same bombers, hundreds of them, have proven untouchable at altitude, then descended like avenging angels to unleash hell at low level. In the 21st Bomber Command headquarters on Guam, Curtis LeMay studies damaged reconnaissance photos without emotion. Blackened swaths cover 16 square miles. Industrial output plummets. Worker morale collapses. The precision campaign failed. The fire campaign succeeds beyond expectation. Night after night, the superfortresses return. Osaka, Nagoya, Kobe, each city targeted in turn. Stripped of guns, loaded with incendiaries, flying low through flak and fighters. Japanese interceptors rise desperately. Ki-84s, Ki-100s, even obsolete biplanes, but numbers dwindle. Fuel shortages ground squadrons. Pilots train with wooden mock-ups. Tanaka leads one last sortie over Yokohama. Searchlights catches formation. Flak bursts bloom black. A.B. 29 tailgunner finds him. Tracers stitch across his fuselage. Engine coughing. He dives to the inferno below. The hunters have become the prey. And still the silver wings come. The ashes of defiance. August 6th and 9th, 1945. The final blows. The B-29s no longer come in waves of hundreds. Now they come as solitary harbingers. Enola Gay and Boxcar, stripped clean, gleaming silver under Pacific sun. You feel the weight of history in their bellies. Single bombs unlike any before. Lieutenant Tanaka, gaunt and hollow-eyed, stands on the tarmac at Katori Airfield. His once proud squadron is reduced to a handful of flyable Ki 84s, fueled with pine root alcohol. Radar tracks a lone Superfortress approaching Hiroshima at extreme altitude. No scramble order comes. There is nothing left to throw skyward. At 0815 hours on August 6th, a flash brighter than the sun erupts over Hiroshima. A fireball rises, mushrooming into the stratosphere. Shock waves flatten the city. Over 70,000 vanish in an instant. 3 days later, Nagasaki suffers the same silent thunder. Tanaka hears the news over crackling radio. He stares at the reconnaissance photo that started it all, the grainy image of the B-29 he once mocked as slow, vulnerable, a flying coffin. That same aircraft, evolved and merciless, has broken the Empire's will. On August 15th, Emperor Hirohito's voice broadcasts surrender. Tanaka sits in the cockpit of his grounded fighter, helmet in his lap. No more laughter echoes in the hangars. No more boasts of invincibility. The Superfortress, ridiculed in the dawn of its arrival, has flown farther, higher, and struck harder than any weapon in history. From precision raids of firestorms to atomic judgment, it turned mockery into awe, arrogance into ashes. Tokyo lies scarred. Japan kneels. The war in the Pacific ends not with naval clash or island assault, but beneath the long silver wings of the bomber they underestimated. The B-29 did not just change the air war. It ended the war.